back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tainted Grail, the Wave 2 expansion. And so what I have to show for you today is this is the Echoes of the Past expansion. This essentially adds additional content to expands all three Tainted Grail main campaigns. So it's adding personal stories and unique memories to the 13 available characters. So it like boosts up your already existing content. So we'll certainly take a look at this here in a minute. And then this is essentially what equates to the stretch goals that were unlocked during the main campaign. So Age of Legends and Last Night are two entirely new campaigns for Tainted Grail. It uses the same system, so the same markers and the outside player boards and things like that are going to be used. The main core rules will still be used, but these are giving us an entirely new set of heroes for each different campaign, along with, a whole new journal, whole new storyline. So this is essentially now tripled the content for Tainted Grail alone. And I think that this here alone is what got people so excited about Tainted Grail to begin with, because this Kickstarter blew up and Awakened Realms just kept unlocking stuff, and next thing you know, for the price of the base game, you were getting 3 times the content. So this box here is exactly the same size as the main box, but honestly, it might be heavier. I'm a little nervous to flip it over, so we're just going to leave it like this. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at what's inside here without any spoilers, and then in a separate video, so that this one can remain entirely spoiler free, I will take a look at like the starter cards for some of the characters and maybe the first few locations. I'm assuming there are new like location cards and things like that. So nothing that will be super spoily for anybody that's planning on getting the game, but for some people you might not want to see that, so we will keep all of that in a separate video. Probably a lot of the stuff in here will also be in that second video. But let's get started here with the main box from Tainted Grail stretch goal box. And I believe that the 2 storylines that are included in this box are meant to be kind of a prequel and then a sequel, but not a direct sequel of anything you experienced in Tainted Grail. So what do we got here? A whole bunch more save sheets. Again, there's more stuff here, more save sheets here than I could possibly ever. Okay, so there is one for, they're different for the various, because the stuff on the back is for the actual, the achievements and stuff like that. So 2 more save sheets. Letters again, for all of the characters. So there's like twice as many letters here because there's twice as many characters in this box. But each one, it's just like a fun little thing to read through. If you are, that's 2 for Naeem, Sloan. If you're preparing to play with that character, these are just nice to read through, give you a little backstory of your character. Alright, so then we have these player boards, which you remember, you're not going to see the main player boards like you did in the base game. These are simply just the inserts, and you are meant to find like the green character, or like the brown character. So you would take Maggot's board from the base game to slot in Duana here, or Bior. So Kaelin is going to go into Bior's player board. So you're matching up the colors, but essentially the the stuff that matters, their starting stats and everything are on the back, and their special actions here on the front. So that's what keeps them separated. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this, set this off to the side, and we'll take a look at them in a second. I just want to kind of dig through the box first and see what's here. Again, a nice cover, and what's interesting is that in the main bit game, the exploration journals were meant to sit on top. They didn't really have a spot, but here it appears that they have created a spot for them in the main portion. So we've got the exploration journal for Age of Legends. This literally feels just as big as the main one. And then an exploration journal for Last Night. So we'll probably take a brief look at these, maybe the first couple pages, because there does not appear to be a instruction manual for this expansion. But I'm assuming there's got to be a few things that they've updated or changed here. This is really nice that the miniatures can be pulled out in the base one. It's just built in, and this looks like this is a nice spot for holding those player boards. So let's just, while we've got them here, let's take a look at some of these miniatures. Now, this is the Donkey Companion, who was like one of the gifts of Awakened Realms to Kickstarter backers. This is a Kickstarter exclusive. He's just a companion that you can unlock in the game, and this miniature is purely cosmetic. You don't really need him, but he's just, everybody was really excited about the Donkey Companion. So there's the donkey. And let's let's go ahead and take a look at the boards while we take a look at the miniatures here. I think that will help us understand who is who. Now, what I don't remember is who belongs to which game here. These are just popping out real easily, so we'll go ahead and just pop them out. I'm guessing that, let's see, these guys that I'm going to be talking about here are for the Last Night. So, let's just take a look at these player boards, and then we'll take a look at the miniature. So Duana here, she's got Empowering Ritual. At the start of the day, if Duana is not at maximum fear, she may gain 2 fear to gain an energy or a health back. Tormenting Presence when resting. If your fear is higher than your health, spend 1 magic or 1 wealth to lose 1 health. Oh, okay. So I mean, she's really kind of messing with the dark arts here. So you can see she starts with 1 each on the kind of power track, empathy and spirituality. She's got her starting decks here because you are using the decks, I believe, from the base game. She starts with some starting resources here. Determined to do anything to defend her tribe, Duana made a pact with a power that few witches dared to contact. Her tribe expelled her as a result, filling Duana with bitter resentment. So she's like a witch. This symbol is new. I don't really recognize. Is this... No? Don't really remember these symbols here. But so this is Duana. Let's find Duana. I'm guessing is this one right here. Yeah, that seems to be her. Oops. So here is Duana's miniature. Again, these seem pretty standard, maybe even better quality, more details than the original miniatures. I remember that a lot of people complained about like some of the weapons. I believe it was Naime, kind of the add-on 5th player character that had like bananas for blades. Anyways, here's Dagon. So Duana and Dagon. Warming Stew. As an action, he can pay 1 food. Chosen party member loses 2 exposure. So that's interesting. Exposure must be a new thing. Each time you play a combat or diplomacy card after the first one, during your activation, discard a card from the top of your deck because he's got short breath. Interesting. He comes with a lot of aggression, caution. It's weird that he's very aggressive but also cautious at the same time. He starts with 2 food, 1 wealth, and 1 reputation. An orphan adopted by a wealthy butcher. It is his turn to pay the debt his community by ending the food shortage. Okay, so let's find Dagon here. He's got the big giant meat blade here. He's got a pelt over his shoulder there. So yeah, like this blade looks much better defined. Looks more like a blade than previous content. This hook though, the hook could be a little better. The hook looks a little, you could tell they couldn't figure out how to make it just suspend off of him like this, so they had to smush it up against his hip there. But there's Dagon. And Sloan, the creepy ghost looking guy. Straining Strike. Once per encounter in combat, pay 1. Discard 1 card. The next card does not need to connect in combat. So that's interesting. You gotta pay 1 to do that though. Discard 1 card. The next card does not need to connect. Fragile Pride. Gain 2 when you escape from an encounter. 2 fear. Caution and Courage. 1 food, 3 wealth, and 1 magic. When weirdness devoured his home, he was left only with stories of the glorious past. Now he's old and childless and wants to leave something behind. Okay, so let's find him here. I'm guessing he's this guy. Here he's shirtless. Here it looks like he's actually got some clothing on. But again, just, the nice standard miniatures from Awaken Realms that we've grown to expect. And then Fuel. Stalk. Pay 1 food to draw 1 gray, 1 green, and 1 purple encounter and toss a dial. You may choose. Resolve the encounter with the highest value. Okay, so that's interesting. You could basically try and get food anywhere. Weird Blood. You can't gain health or lose fear when resting in a location with a Menhir seal. Okay. Once a member of a prominent group of weird hunters, now she is the only weird huntress alive. Black Drifter killed them all. Alright, 2 food and 2 magic. And let's find her here. She's one of the cooler miniatures because she's got this big, long staff with the bird on the end. So yeah, I feel like that bird, and yeah, this blade alone looks much better than the blade from the base game. Looks like you could paint it up sharp. So there we go. That's Fuel. All right, so now the rest of these guys are going to be from the Age of Legend campaign, which I believe is the prequel one. Alright, so we've got Nazir, Master Explorer. During exploration, whenever the journal asks the value of one of your attributes, you may pay 1 to treat this attribute as 1 higher. Okay, that's interesting. When Nazir is in a diplomatic encounter, move the affinity marker 1 slot down because he's a foreigner. Alright. 2 wealth, 2 food. He's pretty well rounded. A traveler from the antique land who, after years of wandering, ended up in Arthur's court. Okay, so let's find him here. I believe this is his miniature. Yeah, so he's got like a scroll, really, instead of a weapon. A big old backpack. But it's interesting. He starts every diplomatic encounter going backwards. So there's Nazir. I am probably butchering these names. I apologize in advance. Thebalt. Okay, I believe this is the guy who's like already got the weirdness in his. He reminds me of what's his name from Game of Thrones? Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't watched, but the lion guy who gets the stone skin plague and has to have it cut off. Self-sacrifice only if the Thebalt is going insane. In an encounter, prevent all damage received by a character in the same location, including Thebalt. Thebalt gains fear for every point of Damage prevented this way. When resting in a location without a menhir or sanctuary, Thibault has to choose whether he wants to restore no health or lose no fear. Or insanity. On his way to Avalon, Knight Thibault contracted the Red Death. Betrayed by his family, he ended up confined on a plague ship until the king allowed sick knights to serve him again as red shields. Okay, lots of courage. 2 wealth, 1 magic. 2 food, 1 wealth, 1 magic. So he, I guess, is this one? Yeah, he's got this backpack here with all the weapons in it. So this must be him. Whoops. Yeah, he's got like the walking stick and the sword. What looks to appear to be a face mask. Nice shield. So this guy's probably going to be like a typical warrior. So there is Thibault. Alright, Mabd. Must be a bard. She's got a harp. Stories await. Travel or explore for free. Now, okay, once per day, but still, that is an amazing feature. Restless. At the end of the day, place a large marker on your location. If there's already a large marker here, gain 2 fear instead. Remove large markers from all other locations. So you can't stay put, but you can travel for free. There are many wandering storytellers left. Even fewer are still traveling between settlements. She's not one of them. She only wants to find her lost apprentice. Okay, she's got a lot of courage too. 1 food, 3 rep, 1 magic. And here she is. So she's got this like homemade harp and this funky staff thing. So there's Mabd. And last but not least, the character I'm most excited about is Kaelin with her wolf companion, Wolf Rider. Kaelin can travel through any number of locations for 2 energy, which would have been amazing to have in the base game when you're traveling back and forth all across Avalon. Without her party members, okay. Entering a location with a instant action stops this action. Troublesome companion, Kaelin loses 1 energy or pays 1 food when she enters a location with a settlement. Okay, because people are scared of the wolf. Alright, 4 food as a starting recess. She's got a lot of empathy. Born in a proud tribe that never accepted Arthur's rule, Kaelin formed an unusual bond with her she-wolf who saved her life during one of her hunts. Okay, and here is Kaelin and her she-wolf. So she's got a bow, which is cool. I don't know how well that'll be interpreted in the cards. But yeah. Wolf companion and her, very good. Very cool. Alright, so there's all of the characters, the new characters, 4 for each storyline who are included in the game, and I'm pretty sure, yep, that these go right down there, and this gets its lid back on it, and it fits right in here. There we go. So, let's just take a look at some of these cards. Again, I'm not going to tear into them until my second video. That way people who want spoiler-free can certainly run away as needed. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. What have we got here? Reference card, Pack Donkey Setup. When you are in a settlement, you may pay 3 wealth to gain this reference card if no other character has it. Place the Pack Donkey miniature on your location. Always moves with the character who owns this reference card. Take all 5 Pack Donkey cards. Donkey action cards. You may play these cards during the day as an action with 0 cost unless stated otherwise. Put all played or discarded donkey action cards in a separate discard pile at the start of each day. Draw all of them. Okay, well, I definitely want to check this out. Let's see what the donkey can do here. Alright, Pack Donkey Upkeep. At the end of the day, you may pay 1 wealth or 1 food to discard all donkey cards and its model. Why would I? You are dying. Items loss. All characters in a location with a pack donkey miniature don't discard any items when they gain the You Are Dying card. Alright, eating your donkey. Oh my god. At any time, you may discard all donkey cards and its model to gain 3 food and 1 fear. At the end of the day, you have to pay 1 wealth or 1 food, or discard all the donkey cards. So you gotta feed him. So what can he do here? Donkey riding. Perform a travel action, reducing its cost by 1 for each of your party members. Okay. Bye-bye, my hoofed friend. Discard all donkey cards and its model to escape from a combat encounter with an opportunity attack, without an opportunity attack, and without loss. Okay. So basically, you gave up the donkey. Menial labor. If you're in a settlement, pay 1 food to gain 2 rep. Okay. Stubborn messenger. Pay 1 food to give another character on any location all your donkey cards, including reference card, its model, and any amount of your food, wealth, and items. Okay. But you got to be to give another character. Pay 1 food to give another character on any location. Okay. Hugging session. Each party member loses 1 fear. It smells, but its fur is so soft. Okay. And back to donkey riding. So that's interesting. Pay 3 food and you just kind of keep them with you until you might need to cut them loose. All right. So we have a whole bunch of relics. You also have these weird steel keys. These are secret cards. So we won't peek at those at all. More encounters. Looks like lots of blue encounters. See what's in here. We have got special cards, event cards. These I'm guessing are like maybe Last Night or maybe Age of Legend. I'm not sure. Here's some more encounter cards. So these all have a U at the end. Yeah, and here's event cards with different symbol on top. Okay. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of what looks to be new player kind of action cards. There's a few here on the back side. No, but this is probably an encounter crazed settler. Yeah, so it looks like all of your action cards have stayed the same. Last Night help cards and the Age of Legend help cards. So, whole new set of locations. These two combined is probably as big as the base game is. So probably not as sprawling as the base game. But again, we're going to take a closer look at some of these cards, not all of them, in a separate video. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I also, this came loose in the box. I'm not really sure where this is supposed to fit in, but this is a whole new set of encounters. So let's just put them right there, along with our donkey cards. And let's take a look at the exploration journals here. Just the first couple pages. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just looking for any amount of instructions on how to incorporate this into the base game. So, all right. I guess I can peek before I flip any pages. Okay, yeah. This seems like a kind of a standard instruction manual. So component list. Okay, so there are cards in here that are specifically for Sloan, Mabbed, Fuel, Dagon. 18 additional counters roughly and everything but the gray one. 69 story and event cards. 67 locations. 4 character tiles. Starting letters. All that stuff. So let's just peek here. Make sure we're not giving anything away. Okay, yeah. Special rules. Setting up. Okay, yeah. So essentially this is like, yeah, the first 8 pages or whatever are basically an instruction manual. So, Sanctuary. This is now a 4th additional location seal. Sanctuary. At the start of the day, if your character is in a location with this seal, you don't gain fear or lose if you're using the Last Night challenge mode due to being out of range of an active menhir. Okay. Please note that Sanctuary rules are slightly different in the Last Night and Age of Legend campaigns. Out of range of locations. Exposure. Exposure represents the effects of extreme cold and harsh weather. It lowers your max HP. When you gain exposure and don't have an exposure marker, place an exposure marker in the topmost slot of your health track. Okay. Interesting. Alright, let's see what else they want to talk to us about here. Unavoidable damage, double magic keys. Double magic key appears in some of the Last Night cards, similar to a standard magic key, but connecting it requires paying 2 magic. Okay. Expansion icon is the mask, the Iron Mask. Counter, Fear, Frenzy, Frostbite, Hunger, Multi-attack. Setting up Last Night. Please follow these steps before you start your Tainted Grail Last Night campaign. If you haven't played the Fall of Avalon and the Age of Legends campaigns, or if you don't have save sheets from these campaigns, skip this step and go directly to character setup. Warning, minor spoilers ahead. Okay, so we are just going to turn the page. Character setup. World setup. Gray box encounters, difficulty 1, 2, 3, 4. Optional Last Night story mode. The default difficulty of Tainted Grail puts emphasis on survival and resource management, and the constant pressure it puts on players may be overwhelming for groups. Use the basic story mode rules found on page 22 of the rulebook. Additionally, remove the plastic health limiter piece from the game and mark with a regular marker. Instead, your health does not limit your actions and you won't panic in combat. Please note that this does not disable the exposure rules. Optional Last Night challenge mode. 2 human. At the start of the day, each character out of menhir range loses 1 and gains 1, instead of the standard penalties outlined in the rulebook. When you can't restore health during rest because of an exposure marker, nothing happens. You can't lose exposure this way. Alright, and then there are the locations. So we're not going to get into those. Let's just peek at this one. I'm guessing it will have a similar set of rules at the beginning. All right. Age of Legend Exploration Journal. Yep. Component list here, pretty standard. 4 years have passed since humans first made landfall on the shores of this strange land. 4 years of, so this is, King Arthur should appear somewhere in here. Special rules. Sanctuary, they talk about empowered menhirs. Age of Legends, the spells placed on menhirs are still young and strong. To represent that, menhirs in this campaign remain lit indefinitely until a menhir is removed because of the active menhir limit, or a menhir is extinguished by the enemy army. You decide to use one of your skills or secrets to remove a menhir. Let's see. Military Power introduces a new mechanic known as Military Power, a new type of secret card unit. Both will be described in the Book of Secrets. Enemy Army. Age of Legends, the Four Dweller model is used to represent the enemy army that tries to push all humans back into the sea and reclaim Avalon. The only way to interact with the enemy army is through military power players will build up during the campaign. Interesting. Triple attribute keys. New triple attribute key appears on some of Age of Legends cards. They are similar to the double keys, but connecting them requires at least 3 of a given attribute. Okay. Importing your game. This all looks familiar again. And yeah. Story mode, character setup, so this is all pretty much the same. Alright, so essentially this is like getting 2 games in one. 2 expansions in one box. Last but not least, let's take a look at what comes in this Echoes of the Past book. All right, we've got some cards with a very unique background here. Here's Fuel. It's got some character stuff on the, yeah, and there's Nyame. All right. So again, we'll see whether we want to look at these cards. Before we get into this, let's take a look at this sheet here. Book of Memories. Echoes of the Past. Book of Memories. Overview. Echoes of the Past is an optional expansion for the 3 basic Tainted Grail campaigns. It contains 52 achievement sheets. Each of the 13 characters has a unique sheet to mark the achievement throughout the campaign. 39 legendary actions. 1 use cards with different powerful effects. Okay, so let's see. Earning achievements. You earn achievements as soon as you meet its requirement listed on the sheet. When you earn an achievement, mark it on your sheet and read the memory this achievement points to. Legendary actions. If you earn all 3 achievements in a single section, you gain 1 legendary action card displayed next to this achievement section. Take this card and mark its box so that you know you've already received it. This legendary action will stay with you for the rest of the campaign until you decide to use it. Remember to keep it with your other cards and decks when saving your campaign. You may use the legendary action at any moment in the game unless the card states otherwise. Apply the effects of the card and then remove the card from the game. It's not possible to earn this card or use it during the campaign again. Optional Legacy Mode. When setting up a new campaign, you may use an achievement sheet from a previous campaign instead of starting a fresh one. In this case, all marked achievements already count as earned, and you may take any legendary actions that you unlocked right at the start of the campaign. So, just as an example of the top card here for Nyame, we have Self-Hate. As a free action, she can gain 1 energy for each 2 fears she has, once per day. Now, see, this is interesting. It says it's a kind of a one-time use card. You know, why would it say once per day? Maybe some of the other ones will say that you have to discard it. But yeah, the rest of this is basically like a secrets book. So we're definitely not going to look into that. But yeah, All Mother's Intercession, Blackmail. So like here, for example, Nyame has to lose at least 5 rep in a single encounter. Go to Memory 1. Have 10 wealth. Go to Memory 2. And end a day in a settlement without having food or wealth. Go to Memory 3. Finding yourself. Visit any settlement and pay 6 energy to help its residents. Then go to Memory 10. Okay. And let's see what's on the back here. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So these are double-sided. And she has, they appear to be all the same, 2 pages each. So 4 total times you could do this with her. Whereas, hold on. It's interesting that Thibault here only has 1 double-sided sheet. So I wonder why Nyame got additional stuff here. Let's just see. Okay, no, Thibault comes back here. So it's just kind of weird how they have everybody's sheets tied together here. Yeah, so it appears that everybody has the opportunity. There's Arev, Maggot, Bior, and then Arev again. Yeah. And Bior. So let's just take a look at what Bior's is. Just as win a purple encounter with difficulty 3 or higher in the first activation. Lose health due to not eating food at the end of the day. Go to Bior's Memory 2 and visit location 116. Visit location 121 and pay 2 energy to prepare for revenge. So again, you're getting, it just gives you additional things to kind of keep up with. Adds a little additional flavor. I'm assuming the memories are going to add some flavor to your character's background. So just interesting to have. Otherwise, this should be pretty straightforward. I'm hoping that these cards will fit into somewhere into one of the boxes. This should easily fit along with the Book of Memories. So there you go. We will take a closer look at some of these cards here in the next video, which will be more considered spoilers warning. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you would like to be part of future videos, including Tainted Grail videos and the second unboxing video for this specific campaign, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.